'Tis time. The moment is here. A charming fall front porch is in your future, and it all centers around one specific star flower. Mums are quintessential fall, right? They add a splash of autumn color to a space and a cozy, inviting feel to an entrance, but because they don't last long, you want to time it right. Brian Lloyd is the expert we turn to. He's from Olsen's greenhouse. He's here to help us out. Great to see you.
It's great to see you, Brooke.
I am standing in the sweetest, most charming little fall scene. I mean, what is
Isn't
it about
beautiful?
mums? Yes, they're gorgeous. One of my favorite flowers. Yours?
You know, yeah, definitely. I love mums. I don't really have a favorite season, but if fall was one of the seasons, it'd be in my top 4, for sure. No, I really do. I like fall because it's, you know, we've had the hot summer and it's kind of time for a refresh, and the flowers grow a lot better once the nighttime temperatures cool.
Yeah.
And that signals the time for mums because that's when they naturally bloom.
Yes. Mum's the word today. We're going to grill you on all of the basics because I think this is a universal flower that so many people love. Fall, a universal season, one of 4, as you so eloquently pointed out, that a lot of people love as well. Can we start with the timing, Brian? Like, what is the best time to buy our mums for fall?
Yeah, so mums like to bloom in one big flush, and what sets their blooms is actually when the night times start to get longer, and so they're naturally setting their blooms this time of year. We time them so that some will come on later if you'd like to have them later into the season.
You control that behind the scenes, yeah.
But they still put up one big flush for the most part. You'll get a few blooms after the big flush, but not many. And the heat drives how long those flush of blooms last. And so if you want them this time of year, you're only going to expect about 4 to 6 weeks out of the bloom time. And then as the night times cool more, later into the late September and into October, the blooms will last more than 8 weeks. And so you kind of got to time how long do you want them into the season. And what I like to do is start with some mums end of August, right about now.
Okay.
And then replace them probably mid-October, and then they'll carry me through to Thanksgiving.
Oh, nice. So layer in at that midpoint. Plan on 4 to 6 weeks.
Exactly.
And that's in the pots, 4 to 6 weeks.
Exactly. Or in the ground. That flush of blooms, and as long as you never let them dry out, they'll last about 4 to 8 weeks, depending on the nighttime temps.
Well, let's talk care then. Let's talk watering. What do you recommend? I mean, these are so gorgeous. We want to keep them as long as we can.
So again, just like anything in pots, and when you're on your front porch, you're in pots, you want to be watering depending on the pot size. So the bigger the pot, the less often you have to water.
Okay.
But we don't want mums to dry out in the pot. So once the soil is dry, about an inch down, you can stick your finger in and tell you want to give them water. The best way to water mums in pots is from underneath. So stick them in another bucket of water and let them soak it up for half an hour.
So I saw that. I think there was a reel last season that went viral and kind of took off where it said before you place or plant your mums, give them a good solid soak. Is that a legitimate tip?
And then that's an easy way on the front porch because you're not getting everything else wet with the watering wand and all that.
Okay.
But you don't have to water that way. It's just a good way to water. You can always water overhead, but if you do, get that watering wand under the foliage, under the blooms, so that you're not, if you constantly beat them from the top, you're going to kind of create a hole in the canopy.
Just knock it down.
And it won't look good.
Okay. Sun cover, shade, sun?
Yeah, mums are a full sun plant, but that's only to set their blooms. So that's what's really cool about front porch decorating with mums.
Yeah.
Is once we've set the blooms for you and given them full sun all their lives, now they can go in full shade and they'll continue that bloom cycle until it's done for the next 4 to 8 weeks. And so you don't have to worry about sun exposure really with mums on the front patio.
Okay, the color combinations are fun. What's the most popular that you sellers see people responding to?
You know, it depends on the time of year. So this early season, people are liking the jewel tones, the more summer colors, the purples for sure,
pretty,
and then golds and yellows. And then we see that transition a lot into the oranges and reds and bronzes later on in the season, obviously. But honestly, it just depends on what you like. We've got colors, mums come in colors for everybody, so.
I love it. It's a flower for all. And that's not the only fall flower that you like to reach for this time of year.
Yeah, whether you're decorating on the front porch, you can see we've mixed a lot of annuals and perennials in. Some of these are fresh in the garden center right now. You can still buy some annuals. You can buy grasses like purple fountain grass.
This is lovely over here with this. What's this?
And then that's a coleus, so it's, or excuse me, a celosia.
Oh,
It
wow.
usually gets a plume in the summer, but the foliage is so cool that we love to
Wow.
have it. So fountain grass and coleus, anything, a coleus or celosia, anything with that foliage color really stands out well against the flowers of fall.
It's a time where I think we are tired. We've maintained our summer gardens for a good stretch of season, but you look at this and think, oh, I got to reinvigorate it for one
Right,
more round,
right.
especially knowing you can stretch it till Thanksgiving.
Exactly. And so you can decorate your front patio that way, but all these plants do great in the ground as well. And mums are perennials. And we've got great deals going on at Home Depot right now. You can get 2 of these little mums for $10, or 5 for $10, so
Okay.
$2 a piece.
Do I plant close? Do I spread out?
And you can spread them out a foot apart.
'Cause they'll mound.
And they'll turn into a hedge. We've got kind of some information on our Instagram site, some inspiration.
Good.
You can see how to turn a mum hedge and what it'll look like come next year.
Okay.
And same with pansies and other annuals and perennials like asters. There's all sorts of stuff to plant for fall.
Well, visual inspiration and then the verbal info to back it up, keep these plants blooming and lovely on our fall front porch and beyond. Brian, thank you so much. What is
Thanks,
your
Britt.
Instagram?
It's Olsen's Greenhouse Gardens, and you'll find us there. And we're working with different influencers as well. So you'll see a lot of different yards and front porches and what they've done.
Fun. That inspiration, I think, is just enough to trigger and get us going for the fall season. So we appreciate it.
Thanks,
Thank
Brooke.
you very much.